Happy Tuesday, Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel coming at you. It is tournament week. Whether you like it, whether you don't like it, it is tournament week this week. The SEC tournament kicks off. Game one will be tomorrow at, Vanderbilt plays Arkansas tomorrow at 7 o'clock. And then Missouri and Georgia are 25 minutes after that. On Thursday, you got Mississippi State LSU, which factors heavily for Tennessee. South Carolina plays the winner of Vanderbilt, Arkansas. Ole Miss plays Texas A&M, and then Florida plays the winner of Georgia and Missouri. So your four byes are Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky, and Alabama. Tennessee's your 1, Kentucky the 2, Alabama the 3, Auburn the 4 seed. So, looking into that, so Tennessee's games for the week, each of their games coming in, they're, starting with Friday and progressing on, they will play at 1 o'clock each day. Now, obviously, if they're out on Friday, they won't play Saturday, nor will they play Sunday. But win Friday, you'll play again at 1 o'clock on Saturday against the winner of Auburn and probably South Carolina would be my pick on that one. And then, of course, if you win that one, then you win whoever comes out the other side of the bracket. So what's to play for Tennessee? Well, there's still a lot to play for. That number 1 seed, that 4th number 1 seed is up for grabs. You got to think Houston, Purdue, Connecticut are lots for their 3 number 1s. I think it's down to Tennessee, Arizona, possibly even North Carolina for this 3rd number 1 seed right now. I think it's pretty easy. If Tennessee wins the SEC tournament, I don't see how you don't make them the 4th number 1 seed. Now, if they slip up, what happens if Arizona wins the Pac-12 conference tournament? What happens if Tennessee and Arizona slip up and North Carolina wins the ACC tournament? I think there's a lot of interesting aspects. It's, the easy road for Tennessee is win, you're the 1 seed. You win all 3 games, you are the 1 seed. I don't think there's going to be any argument about that, though. If all 3 teams lose in their conference tournament, I think Tennessee still has a good case for that number 1 seed, that 4th number 1 seed. But, we found out was that you don't want to leave it in the hands of the committee. A couple years ago when Tennessee won the SEC tournament, it looked like they would move up a seed line, and it turned out that tournament meant nothing as far as that goes. Is this going to be shoes on the other foot this weekend, and now the tournament matters as far as those number 1 seed goes? I think it has to. In respect, if not, let's put it this way. If these tournaments do not matter, then it's time to abolish them, get rid of them. If they don't matter this weekend, if your number 1s are set in stone, get rid of these conference tournaments, as I think you should do anyway, and let's roll with the regular season, as it should be. But it's not up for me to decide, and, there may be people who disagree. I've had people in the past who disagree and said, all the conference tournament bids and everything should rely on these tournaments. That makes no sense to me. Why, especially I think last night's Southern Conference. Yeah, I wanted ETSU to beat Samford, but why should Samford have to win a conference tournament when they've been the number 1 seed in that conference all year? Why should they then have to win a 3 or 4 day tournament to get their bid, opposed to their 28-5 record and what they did in their conference? It's just not right. It's just not right. It makes no sense. Whatever. It's a moneymaker. It is what it is. But if you're wanting conference tournaments to mean something, this is the weekend. 3 teams vying for that 4th number 1 seed. Tennessee's road's clear. You win, you're it. I really believe that's the case, especially with Arizona losing at USC the other night. North Carolina, I think, is the 3rd one looking in, but North Carolina still has that chance with it, just to repeat that. So now look at the brackets. Again, I go back over those. In Tennessee's case, they play Friday at 8 o'clock. They play the winner of Mississippi State and LSU. That's a tough one to call. Who would I like to say? I'd like to see Mississippi State. I'd like to see them get a rematch with them because they're a better team, Tennessee is. I would like to see them avenge that loss with it. I'm not so sure Mississippi State beats LSU, though. It's an 8-9 game. It's 2 pretty close teams. Tennessee gets by that game, as they should. They should take care of business with Mississippi State or LSU. If Tennessee loses to one of those teams and they drop to a 2 seed, it is what it is. All right, we can't sit and say, well, they got screwed on the 1 seed. If they lose to Mississippi State or LSU and they drop, it is what it is. That's not the game you can afford to lose. Could you afford to lose your second game in the tournament and get by? Possibly, because if it plays out right, I can't see Vanderbilt nor Arkansas beating South Carolina. And then you got South Carolina and Auburn. Auburn destroyed South Carolina the first time. Do I think it'll be that much of a blowout this time? No. But I think Auburn's better than South Carolina. I fully expect if Tennessee wins that they will see Auburn on Saturday at 1 o'clock. And that'll be a tough game. I think these two teams may be the most complete in the conference. I'm not saying Auburn's better than Kentucky. I think they're both better than Alabama. But I think Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky. I think that's your 3 best teams in the conference right now. I really do. I think they are. And, with Kentucky's game Saturday against Tennessee, they played some defense, played a little bit of defense. And when you shoot like that and they rebounded like that, Kentucky's going to be hard to beat a lot of nights. With that said, Tennessee was within a 3-pointer of tying that game. I had a Kentucky fan comment. Most Kentucky fans that commented on my video were very respectful, very good. Had one that said it was that game wasn't that close. Yeah, it was. It was a 3-point shot away from being tied with around 10 seconds left. It was that close. It didn't seem like it. I get kind of where he's coming from, but the fact of the matter is, regardless of how it happened, Tennessee had a shot to tie that game late. You can't deny that, no matter what you want to say with it. You have a chance to tie late. That is a close ball game. But Tennessee, playing the theoretical, they beat Mississippi State or LSU. Okay, then I'm going to say they play Auburn. They beat Auburn. Coming out of that side of the bracket, the way I look at it, you've got Ole Miss versus A&M. You have Florida playing either Missouri or Georgia. Ole Miss or A&M plays Kentucky. I'm going to take Texas A&M in that game. And then I think Kentucky beats Texas A&M. Florida probably plays Georgia. And then I think Florida wins that. Florida plays Alabama. I think Florida beats Alabama. I think your Final Four in this SEC bracket is going to be Tennessee, Auburn, Kentucky, and Florida. And, I'm going to go with Kentucky on the bottom. Due to me being a Tennessee fan, can I see Auburn beating Tennessee? Absolutely, I can. Absolutely. Who am I going to go with? You know who I'm going with. I'm going with Tennessee in that one. Is part of it a homer? Yep. But I do think Tennessee is just as good. And I think Tennessee's a little better than Auburn because of Dalton Connect. Janai Broom's a great player for Auburn. Make no mistake about it. He gave fits to Tennessee the first time around. Zakai Ziegler is a better guard than what Auburn plays or than what Auburn has. And Dalton Connect is better than anybody on Auburn's team. That's not me disrespecting them or taking anything away from them. Dalton Connect is the SEC Player of the Year. He's the first team All-American, and it was just announced today as well. He is in the conversation strongly for National Player of the Year. That's my difference in that game. And then I would love to see it, the rubber match, Game 3, Tennessee, Kentucky. I'm taking Kentucky over Florida right now, and I think that's another one. Could I see Florida beating Kentucky? Yes. I think Kentucky prevails on it. Kentucky's playing pretty good ball here at the end of the season, and that was a big win for them. Who knows what that does for their conference. Tennessee, Kentucky, 3 in Nashville. Could I see either team winning that? Absolutely. You know who I'm going with. I'm going with Tennessee to win all 3. I'm going with Tennessee to cut down the nets in Nashville, get that number 1 seed, move into the NCAA tournament, and then I'm going to go with Tennessee to go to the Final Four. I'm still believing. Could anything else happen? Could I fall short on expectations? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. It's Tennessee basketball, guys. The only thing that's sure with Tennessee basketball is you're unsure what you're going to get when it comes tournament time. Baseball post game, I'll have that later on tonight. Probably not gonna have anything next couple days. I'm actually on a field trip for 2 days here, so I will be out of commission for a couple days. Be back in later Thursday night. I will be live Friday after the Tennessee versus either Mississippi State or LSU game. I hope you'll join me. I'll be around 3:30. The best basketball post-game show that's on YouTube. Make no mistake about it. If you want the best, come here. If you want to just hear a bunch of BSing and half knowing it, go somewhere else. But if you want to be here, I'm calling my shot just because it's a little annoyed at some covering it who never cover it. Now it's a cool thing to do that you've got a channel covering it right now. Not going any further down that rabbit hole than it is. Right here's the place. We had 87 right at 90 last time. Let's get this thing over 100 and keep it going, guys. Thank you for your support. Y'all are awesome. Frank Rock, House of Orange Sports Channel. Happy Tuesday. As always, go Vols.